Hey Katie, I'm currently at the house of the kids that I babysit, and they all left with their parents, and I said I'd walk home after I cleaned a little bit because we left this house in shambles, and now it's dumping rain, and I'm bored because I cleaned the entire house now, so I thought this would be a good time to vlog, or start a vlog, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for. I'm already getting vlogging arm and my arm hurts already. I've been thinking a lot about first times and last times, because one of the kids that I take care of when I'm babysitting here is 2 years old. Thunder. One of the kids I babysit is 2 years old, and I was thinking about like, when I'm carrying her around, I'm like, there was a first time that my parents picked me up and carried me, and a last time because I'm 15 and they don't do that anymore because I can walk for myself. And I was thinking about that and how there was a last time for that, and there was like a last time that I had my diaper changed, a last time that I needed a diaper, like all these things, and I'm just thinking about all these things like first and last times, and it's kind of weird. And that's all I have today. I think I'm gonna elaborate once I get back to my warm, safe, own home that is not strange like this one. Okay, bye. That video that you just saw, I think I filmed around July. It was actually quite a while ago. You actually know the family, Katie, but I'm not gonna say their names on the internet because that's like not okay. But I think we filmed those videos around the same time, having pretty much similar thoughts without even talking to each other about it. Katie, I think we had an existential crisis together while we were apart. I'm gonna finish what I was saying in that video now, and because I've kind of had a while, about 2 months to condense my thoughts into like more of what I want to say, and then watching your video, like that's immediately what I thought of, was that I had filmed this and was thinking this. And I think it's really interesting that you mentioned your siblings and growing up like that, because I think about that a lot. My younger sister's like in the other room playing, and I can hear her, and I remember the times when I used to be able to play like that, and I can't do that anymore without feeling weird. There are so many things that I feel like we take for granted when we're younger, and then once we're older we don't work with as much, I guess. Like but I was thinking about that and how like in those first years, those first like even like 20 years, like even to like late 20s, people change so much. You're experimenting and you're learning and you're doing things, but what I think is interesting is we always recognize the firsts in those things, like your first walk, the first time you spoke when you're little, all those first things, and I think we don't recognize the things we do for the last time when we're young. I think that's interesting too. Like, there are things that I'm really happy that I'm never going to do again, and there are things that I'm glad I learned from doing but I'm not going to do again. For instance, touching the top of the toaster when trying to get my bread out and burning the top of my hand. Like, those kinds of things, I'm happy that I don't have to do them anymore because I've done them for a first time and I'm not going to do them for the last time. But I have been thinking about that a lot, and how, especially the girl I was babysitting, she's 2, and everything she's doing is experimental, because she doesn't recognize that she doesn't even realize that she's doing these things for the first or last time. She's just doing them because she's a kid. Like, I feel like once you get older, you realize you're doing things for the first or last time, and it becomes a big deal. Like when you're in high school and it's like, oh, I'm going, my first day of school, that's like the biggest deal in the whole world, and everyone gets all dressed up and super proper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like the last times too, like the seniors right now, it's September and they're already talking about how in December it's their last set of finals. One thing that I think I struggle with a lot is living in the moment, and I'm always thinking about the past and things I've messed up on and stupid things I've said, which I think is fine to think about. I think it's like good to think about the past and think about things you've learned and things about those things, but I don't think it's worth it to dwell on it. And I think I dwell on it, and that's something that I feel like I need to get better at, on not dwelling on the past. It's fun to reminisce. It's fun to think about the things that have happened in the past, and it's fun to like realize moments where you've learned something, or just, you know, thinking about a memory that makes you really happy. And those are moments that I really enjoy, and I enjoy looking back on it. But at the same time, like, for the negative stuff, it's over. I can't change it. There's no way that I can change it. I can't do that. I have to accept that that's what happened for the negative things. And move on and appreciate that I learned a lesson from that, and live right now for right now, because this is the moment that we live in. And then with the future, not freaking out about it because it hasn't happened yet. And like, obviously for certain things, like, you want to be ready for them, such as, you know, if you're in a show or you have tests or, you know, that kind of stuff, YouTube, like, you want to think about these things because they have some significance in your life in the future. But I don't think it's worth it to get nervous about it. Someone on YouTube said this, and I can't remember who it was, but if I think about it, I'll put in the description or something. But they were talking about how if you know you're gonna be late for the bus, you're gonna be late for the bus. And don't stress about being late for the bus, because you know you're gonna be late for the bus and there's nothing you can do about it. It's fun to plan things, it's fun to get excited about things, but at the same time, like, you know, recognize that this is the moment that you're in. And that's the moment that you're always going to be in, is now. I read a book, I think it's back here, this one. I read this book a while ago. I didn't like it that much. One thing I did like about it a lot is it's about a girl who's a ghost, and even on the back it says, so this character's crossed the bridge into the afterlife, a place called here, where the time is always now. And this fascinated me when I read that and when I read the book, because they're not focusing on their past lives. They're realizing that I just tapped the thing that my camera's on. That's why it moved. But they're realizing, you know, they're thinking about their past lives and thinking about these things and thinking about lives that they might want to be in, but ultimately they live now. They live for this moment. You'll remember at our elementary school that we used to go to together, that one of our teachers, our drama teacher, Mr. Sean, told us that story about
the boy who's running away from the soldiers, and he falls off a cliff, and he's thinking about all the terrible things that's happened in his life. And he looks down and he sees two tigers, and then he starts worrying about the future. And then he turns around and sees that there's a strawberry, and he picks the strawberry and eats it, and it's the most delicious thing. Kind of want to do like a whole really cool storytelling thing about this, so I'll save that for another time. Maybe Reds at the end of the month. Hashtag plug.
That's something that I try and tell myself a lot, is think about the strawberry, enjoy the moment that you're in, and you know, learn from your first times, and accept the nostalgia of your last times, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying, really. That's something I've been thinking about a lot as well, and as much as I'd love to Peter Pan it and be a kid again, I'm not. And I know that I'll never truly grow up, and I'll always be a kid at heart and enjoy the simple things that kids enjoy. I'm not gonna worry about being an adult yet, because I'm not. And for now, I'm just gonna focus on being 16-year-old Pema, and in this present moment Pema, and appreciate the past for all its joys, but not dwell in the negatives of the past, and appreciate the future for all the things that it's going to give me and all the things I'm excited about, but not worry about it, but just put my energy and my focus into making right now the best I can be. Cheesiest ending to a video ever. I'll see you tomorrow.